Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us address or let us solve one more issue we face while hosting our application. So let's see what are the different ways where we can able to host our application. One way to host our applications is on top of our virtual machines. That is on top of our EC2 instance, we can able to host our applications. So at last, in order to combine all these EC2 instances or distribute our traffic among all these EC2 instances, we use Elastic Load Balancer, right? Yes. So indirectly, we are hosting our application on top of EC2 instances only, right? Yeah. So this is one way. And we also have another way by using S3 service. By using S3 service, we can even able to host a static website, right? Yes, we can even able to host our static websites on top of S3 by using static website hosting. In order to provide high distribution, what service we use? We use this cloud front distribution, right? Yes. So indirectly, we are hosting that static application on top of this cloud front distribution only, right? Yeah. So this is another way. And we also have a way to host small, very small applications on top of your, we can even able to host our applications on top of API gateways. Basically, by using these gateways, we can able to create a request. This provides you a URL. So if you use that URL from client side, if you click on that URL or if you browse it for that URL, then this API, we can configure this API to send a request to some backend services like Lambda. So like that, you can even send the request to backend microservices by using this API request. So whenever a user requests this, then after that, so by using backend microservices, we can able to host our application as well. So this is also one of the way where we can able to host our applications under microservices. And we also have one more way, that is app sync. What is that? So by using this app sync also, we can able to host our applications by using microservices. On top of microservices, we can able to host our applications by using this app sync as well. So these are the multiple ways which are present in AWS to host our application. Let's say I hosted my application on top of this CloudFront distribution. That is under S3, I hosted my application and I created a static website hosting for that. And then I created a CloudFront distribution for that and I provided a URL, right? Yeah. So now my clients are accessing my website. So now let's see the issue which I gonna face in this moment. Now cyber attackers enter into my world. That is, they know my website URL. So they can have probability to attack my website. So let's see the general attacks which are possible on my website. Let's see some general possible cyber attacks on my website or on my application. The general possible cyber attacks are, first one is SQI, that is SQL injection. So by using this SQL injection, they run, cyber attackers run SQL queries against my website so that they can able to occupy my servers related network or bandwidth or those things. And the another possible attack is cross site scripting. That is, they can able to access our website by using the URL from another website. That means they use another website's traffic as well to our website. That means they send the another website's traffic to our website. So in this way also they can able to consume our network as well as bandwidth. So this is one of the possible cyber attack. And last, custom filtering. So these are the three possible, they can able to filter only our websites. So in this way, these are the three possible general cyber attacks which are possible on our websites. Not only my website, it may be your website or company website. So whatever it may be. Your website may be hosted on your Elastic Load Balancer, or your website may be hosted on API Gateway or AppSync or Amazon CloudFront. So whatever the service may be, but general cyber attackers may attack these ways. In these ways, they can able to attack. Now, I need a solution, right? So in order to overcome this issue, now I need a solution. I need a effective service where it can able to face all these attacks and overcome all these overcome from all these cyber attack patterns. So like that, I have a service. What is that service? WAF. What is the service? WAF. Web Access Firewall. So by using this WAF, we can able to overcome all these possible general cyber attacks which are happens on my website. So let's say I hosted my website on this CloudFront distribution. Now, in order to overcome all these general attacks, now I again configured this WAF ACL, WAF Web ACL. So first we need to configure Web WAF ACL. Now we just associate this with this AWS WAF. This WAF will associate Web ACLs with our CloudFront distribution. This Web ACLs will protect our CloudFront distribution, or you can say the application which is hosted on this CloudFront distribution. What will protect my application? This web ACLs. Where these web ACLs are present? Under your AWS WAF service. Under your AWS WAF service, you have this web ACL present. By using this web ACL, we need to attach or associate this web ACL with our CloudFront distribution or Elastic Load Balancer or API Gateway or AppSync. So currently my need is that we hosted our application under CloudFront. So I'm just attaching this WAF, Web ACL, to our CloudFront so that it can able to overcome all these general cyber attack patterns. So now the question is, how does it overcomes? So to overcome these attacks, what are the things I need to configure? So in order to overcome these all attacks, this WebACL will create a rule group for us. What it will create? It will create a rule group for us. By using this rule group, it can able to protect our application. So what does this rule group contain, sir? This rule group also contain some rules. So based on the rules present in the rule group, based on the rules which are present under our rule group, our WAF will able to protect our website or application which is hosted on top of either Elastic Load Balancer or Amazon CloudFront or API Gateway or AppSync. We can integrate this WAF with any one of the service. So let's see how the process will happen after attaching this Web ACL by using this WAF. So after integrating this AWS WAF with CloudFront, by associating this Web ACL with our CloudFront, how the request will go to my website. when our client is requested. So whenever client is requested, then my request will first send to our Amazon cloud front. So first actually it goes to route 53, then so based on our provided URL, it will reach to the respective place. So let's say I hosted my application on this and I provided my cloud front URL as my website URL. Now that route 53 will route the traffic from clients to this Amazon CloudFront. So here what happens is this CloudFront will first send that request to this WAF. In this WAF, it contains web ACLs, right? Yes. So this WAF will check the web ACLs. So inside this web ACLs, we have rules group, right? Yes. So it will check the rules group, and under the rules group, it has some rules, right? Yes. So these rules can tell whether we can able to allow the particular request or deny the particular request, or we can block the particular request, or count how many times that type of request will keep. Those all related rules will be configured under this rule. Based on our rules that we configured in the rules group, it will check. Let's say my rule allowed the request. In that case, what happens? So in that case, the request will be allowed and then it will reach to my website and the client got the response from my website. Let's say the request is blocked in this rule group. Whatever the request we got from the client that is blocked in this particular rule group. Then what happens is your access will be denied. Your access will be denied. That means your access will be blocked and you won't get the response back from this website. That is, your request won't send to the website. Here itself, your rules group present in your web ACL will stop your request. So in that way, we can able to block certain requests and we can able to allow certain requests. And we also have an option that is count. We can able to count the number of requests that are coming from particular IP address or particular source or particular CIDR block or particular header. With particular header, how many requests we are getting. So those all things we can able to monitor under this rules group. Under this rules group rules. So in this way we can able to control the requests. So we have actually two types of rule groups. This is custom managed rule group. If we create this whole rule group by our own, then we call this type of rule group as custom managed. And we also have AWS managed and marketplace rule groups as well. By using those AWS managed and marketplace rule groups, already we have some rule groups with rules configurations already available where we simply use it to overcome from these general cyber attack patterns. So I hope you understood the knowledge regarding WAF and how does it can able to protect our website. Whether it may be our website may be hosted in any one of the form, how can it can able to protect our website from these general cyber attacks. So now let's move on directly to lab in order to create our rule group and create our web ACL as well. So let's see the live demo for this. Now I have entered into my AWS account. Now what I'm expecting is I'm expecting to create a web ACL and associate it with my cloud formation. Let's assume I have a cloud formation available. So for that, I'm just clicking on web ACL. I'm just searching for web ACL. You can see option is available here. If you search for WAF also, then it will show you this option. So you can see I'm searching for WAF WAF. So it will show us this option. Under this, we have create web ACL option is there. Now I just opening that by clicking on it. You can see the page is loading. So now we came to the dashboard of WAF. So here we have an option to create directly web ACL. So before that, let us create this rule groups and rules. So let us create this rule groups. So what is this rule groups, sir? We have already discussed, by using these rule groups only we can able to block or accept, or we can able to count the request coming from certain IPs or source IPs or particular IP or particular IP address headers. So now let us name this rule group. Let's say the rule group 1 as the name that I want to put. So now I just provided that. You want, you can able to provide the region as well. Then just click next. So remember, you need to provide the same region of CloudFront, because in order to associate this rule group with that, we need to provide the same location, same region. Then under this, we provided the description of our rule group. Now we need to add rules and set the capacity. So what is this capacity, sir? This capacity is used to provide you compute units. So you need to take care of this capacity as well. Only 1500 capacity units only you can able to use each and every time. So while providing your rule group rules, you need to categorize you can have ability to categorize your capacity as well. So now let us see how to create rules. So we have already discussed about these rules. I'm just clicked on create rules. You can say I just moved back. I just clicked on create rule group. Under that I place it rule group 1. Again I'm writing. Now under rules and add rules. So currently I'm not having any rules. I want to create a rule and add that rule. So I'm just clicking on add rule. You can see it was asking me the rule name. You can provide any rule name based on your requirement. You can even configure your rule groups by using JSON script as well. And you can even configure your rules by using editor, that is visual editor, directly from here. You can see this is a JSON script. We can able to configure our rule group, or else we can create directly from this visual editor. I like to choose visual editor, so I'm just configuring my rule in this visual editor only. Now I place it rule 1. So you can see type. We have two types of rules. Don't worry, I'll tell you. So first type is regular type rule. In this regular type rule, we just need to provide if else statement. If any, if whatever the statement that we put here that matches, then do this thing. So do this inspection. That is what you want to inspect. If this rule matches, then what you want to do? I want to allow that, or I want to block that request, or I want to count that request, or I want to create a captcha to verify that request, or I want to challenge that user who trying to access from that request. Now currently I'm trying to allow that request. So you can see inspect option is also there. We can even inspect from which country I'm getting the request, or from which IP address I'm getting the request, and from which header I'm getting the request, or we can even see from all headers, or by specifying a single header we can able to identify from where that request is coming from by specifying the header here. And match type you can specify from this. So like that we have multiple options are there. You can even match with SQL injection or cross region. cross-site scripting injection attacks also you can able to understand from this match type. And text transformation, which type of text transformation you want to identify, that also you can able to inspect. So currently I'm just inspecting from where, from which country I am getting, that is in India. I want to inspect. So from which source IP address I am getting, if you want to provide the header, you can specify here particular header, or else you can even see from source IP address and just click on add rule so that your rule will be added. In this way, in regular rules, you can able to provide a if statement based on the matched statement, or match all the statements, or any one of the statement is matched, or if doesn't match it, based on the request rule that you provided, your statement that you provided based on this statement, this action will be happened on that particular request in the regular rules. Whereas rate based rules, in this rate based rules, you can have ability to provide rate, that is from particular source address in this window, that is within 5 minutes, that is 300 seconds, within 300 seconds, you can only accept 121 requests. So like that, you can even able to configure your rules by using this rule based rules. So you can even consider scope as well, consider from all requests, or only consider will with requests which are matched to this particular statement that you provided here. If you want to consider all rule requests, then you select this. And so if they are under the rate limit, then you can block them, or if they are exceeded, then you can block them, or else you can have ability to count them, or you can create a captcha or challenge them as well. So in order to overcome these issues. Now, in this way, these are the two ways where we can able to create our rule. So after this step, we have set a rule priority option is there. So in creating rules group, we have set priority option is there. Now I'm just clicking on add rule. Here we can have ability to even set the priority as well. You can see the option set rule priority. So how many, if you have multiple rules, then we can even able to prioritize them as well here by moving up and down the rules. You can see I have that option as well. We can able to select a particular rule and we can able to move it up, or we can able to move it down, and then save those rules as well. So like this, we can able to set priority as well. After that, at last we have an option that is review and create your rule group. So after that, we just review the options till now we selected, and then we create the rule group. In this way, we can able to create our customized rule group. Now you successfully understood how to create a customized rule group. Now let us see how to associate that rule group with our application hosting services. So you can see, in order to associate your rule group with your hosting services, you just click on web ACLs. So in these web ACLs only you can able to associate. So you just click on create web ACLs. By creating this web ACLs only you can able to associate. You can see you have multiple resource type options. You have regional resources like load balancers available, API gateways available, and app runner available, app sync available, Amazon Cognito available, and verified access instance is also available. So now I'm just expecting to create for CloudFront distribution. Now I just clicked on that, and you need to provide the name. So this is web ACL 1. So I just provided like that name, and you need to provide your cloud watch metrics as well. So in that metrics only, your data will be stored regarding this. Now you can see associate with AWS resources. Even you can add the resources, whatever you have under your cloud front. Currently, I'm not having any distribution. So since for this demo, I'm showing you this. You can see under web body inspection, you also have body size limit. So if you want, you can choose with the default, or else you can choose with the size here. Currently, I'm moving on with the default. I'm just clicking on next. You can see here rules. So how do we attach rules is by using rule groups. Actually, we have two types of rule groups. These are own rules and rule groups. So previously we have seen, right, how to create our own rule group and how to create our own rules inside our rule group, that you have seen. If you just click on it, then also we redirect to the same page. Currently, I'm moving back. So currently I'm moving back. Yeah, we are on the same page. Now, we also have managed rule groups. Those are managed by AWS or Marketplace. You can see AWS managed rule groups available for us. It is loading. You can see this company managed rule groups are available here. Cloudbrick Corporation managed rule groups we have, and we have AWS provided rule groups we have. You can see these are paid rule groups, and you have free rule groups also available here. So based on the rule group that you want to add, based on your requirement, consider the capacity and additional fees. Just add that rule group, whatever the rule group that you want, and just use the existing rule groups. So like that, we have cyber security cloud incubation managed rule groups available, F5 managed rule groups available, and Fortinet managed rule groups available, GeoGuard managed rule groups available, Imperva managed rule groups available, ThoughtStop managed rule groups also available for us. So you can choose based on your requirement. So whatever the rule groups you want, those you can choose. If you want to use the rule groups which are outside from your AWS, that is Marketplace, then you need to subscribe to AWS Marketplace at first in order to use that. So while choosing the rule groups, you need to consider the capacity. It must be less than or equals to 1500. If it exceeds, then your rule groups, your web ACL won't be created. Now I'm just clicking on this, and I just accepted one of the rule group, and I just clicked on add rules. So you can see that rule group is added here, right? Yeah. So here you can see web ACL capacity units. Okay. Totally 5,000 WCUs, write capacity units. That is web ACL capacity units it will provide, not 1500, 5,000 web. Yeah. Over 1500. So up to 1500, we do not be charged. If we use exceeded to 1500, exceeded to 1500 and less than 5000, then we will be charged. If we want to create our rule groups with capacity more than 5000, it won't be possible. You can see that statement is available here. Web ACLs can't exceed 5000 capacity. Web ACL capacity units can't exceed this 5000 capacity. And up to 1500 capacity, we won't be affect any charge. If we create more capacity than 1500, then we will be charged for that capacity. And we have default web ACL action requests that do not match any rule group. We can even allow that, or we can even block that. So by default, Any rules that are not matching to our rule group, we just allow that rules. And this is the token domain list. If you want to add tokens, then you can able to add here. Now just clicking on next. So now we described our web ACL and associated it with AWS service, that is AWS resource, that is CloudFront. And we even configured our rule groups and rules. We have rules priority. If we have multiple rules, we can able to manage them. So under rule groups, let's add one more rule. So I'm adding one more managed rule group from AWS. From AWS managed rule groups, you can see it is loading. Now it is loaded. Now I'm just adding one more rule to this. So let's add two more. Yeah. So I've added totally three. I'm just watching totally how many rule groups. Yeah, totally three rule groups are there. Now I'm just clicking on next. So that here you can say we can even able to move our rule group from top to bottom or bottom to top. You can see we have an option to move our rule group. So based on our rule group that we provided, first that will be evaluated, then next the other rule group, then next the last rule group will be evaluated. So like that we can able to prioritize our rules as well. For showing you the priority, I have created three rules. Now you can see configuration matrix. So which matrix you want to configure, that also you can able to see. With what name of the matrix you want to see those configurations in the CloudWatch, those also you can able to configure here. You have that ability facility. And requesting sampling options, you can even able to enable that or disable that or enable that. Sampling with some exclusions. And if you disable request sampling, you can't view the requests that match to your web ACL rules. If you enable the sampling, then the request that matches your rules, those related requests you can able to monitor under your CloudWatch matrix. I'm just clicking on next. You can see this is the review session. At last, after configuring all the details, we have an option to review what are the web ACLs we configured, that you can see from here, and what is the web request body inspection that you provided, that also you can able to see here. And the rule groups and rule priorities that you provided, that also you can able to see here. And WCU units, that is a web ACL capacity units, that how much you use it, that also you can able to see. So like this, you can see your metrics as well, that is CloudWatch related log metrics also you can able to see here. And then after watching all these, you just click on create web ACL. Your web ACL will be created. Since it's a demo purpose, I'm not creating it. So in this way, we can able to create our web ACL. So this is about how to create your web ACL and how to create your custom rule groups. And you can even have an option, that is AWS Marketplace managed rules. So those are also available here. You can able to see them and use them if you require. And you have IP sets and regex patterns. So by using these IP sets or regex patterns, you can able to filter, or you can able to use them under your rule groups to filter or to match some pattern. You can even able to create your IP set, that is CIDR block range, by defining here. Or else you can even create your regress patterns by clicking on create and writing your regress pattern here and setting that here. And you can able to use them under your web ACLs as well if you create them. So this is about your AWS WAF. I hope you understood this video on hands-on as well. You understood how to create your WAF, and you also understood what are the options that are available under your WAF. You can see there are two more options, that is bot control dashboard and application integration. Under application integration, you can see what web ACL is integrated with which URL. that is you have seen multiple application hosting services, right? That is CloudFront or ELB or AppSync, or you have also seen API gateway, right? So those URLs you can able to see here under integrated URLs, and you can see the web ACL which is associated with that particular URL in this application integration. And under the bot control dashboard, you can see after enabling this WAF bot control by attaching this web ACL to your URL, you can able to see the last bot activities that are happened and what are the bot activities which are controlled on your account on your application. Those also you can able to monitor by using these metrics which are directly imported from CloudFront. So this is all about AWS. I hope you understood this video and you got some knowledge related to AWS WAF, and you got also knowledge related to how to solve the real-time problem faced by these general cyber attacks, by using which service we can able to solve and how that problem is solved, in which way it is solved, and how to create your web ACL directly from AWS Management Console in AWS Web Service, and how to create rule group and what are the rule groups we have. So what is the best for me, how to choose it, what is the capacity, those all things we have discussed in this video. I hope you understood this video, and I feel this video is contentful. I think you got some knowledge from this video or knowledge recap from this video. If you feel this video is contentful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye guys.